Hey TBC family, I'm here with Craig Congdon, director of the One Body Project with Haiti Lifeline. You might have heard us talking about the churches that are going to be built through our Christmas project this year. The project, if you haven't had a chance to see it, is Work, Water, and the Word. And we've talked a little bit about the work, the churches that are going to be built, but now we're going to talk about the water. One of the big things that the One Body Project does is putting these wells and cisterns into these communities. Craig, can you just tell us a little bit about why that's so important? I mean, I know water is important, right? But how does it change the life of a community?
Yeah, it really truly does change. It transforms communities just to have a source of clean water right there in their own community. So we were astounded when we started talking to some of these pastors about their villages and tell us about your people, and they talk about being farmers, and they talk about what life was like, and then it occurred to us we should ask, what do you guys do for water? And we found some of these pastors would say, well, you know, there's a stream that's about a 45-minute walk, and if we walk 45 minutes there with our buckets, then we fill it up, and we're just amazed at that. We're thinking, wait, so you spend an hour and a half a day going and getting clean water, and then what do you do with it? Well, since it's a lot of work to get the water there, then you use the same water for drinking, but then you have to use it to wash a dish, or then we have to use it for bathing. And so we said, wow, is there a way in which we can help you get just ready, immediate access to clean water? And they said, yes. In some locations, we can build a well, and they drill down and put a well in it and a pump at the top so they can pump water out. And then in other locations where they can't have a well, they get a cistern that collects the rainwater over the year, fills it up, and then again, they have a pump so they can pump it out. And we really have found and heard from these pastors that it just changes their lives. When we do some medical clinics in some of these areas, one of the most common problems in the past has simply been dehydration. Sure. A really simple thing to fix if you just have water at your hands. And so one of our goals then was, not only are we going to build churches in these communities, but we need to help transform them and give them the ability just to have clean water at any time. Yeah. So we've already started putting wells and cisterns in, and you know, we have gotten to go back to some of those locations, and it's amazing. You see women with these big tubs going to the well, and they pump it, and you see them walking down the street and putting it in their house, and then they can do that several times a day. And so hopefully it's just creating healthier, cleaner water that they're drinking overall.
Yeah, and what I love is that, you know, this project, our Christmas project this year, it's not just one thing, but it's when all of these things are together. The churches, these wells, and then equipping the pastors. When they're all able to work together, it makes an even bigger impact. Something that you had told me previously, that if you could just share for a second, about the impact that a well makes on a location where you're going to put a church in the future. Can you talk about that?
So we typically put a well wherever we're going to put a church. And in the past, we've built the church first and sort of prioritized that, and then we go in and we put the well. Well, what we found with a couple of these locations is, for them to build the church, they're mixing the cement and the concrete by hand on location. Well, in order to do that, you need water, and you need a lot of it. And so I was at a church location 2 years ago, and they said, yeah, one of the problems and the reasons it took so long is not only do we have to bring the sand and we have to bring the rocks, but we have to go gather the water, which is at a river that's about 2 hours away. We have to go gather the water in truck, or they would actually bring it by mule, put it on the back of a mule and walk it all the way back and mix it.
That was your job, right?
Oh, absolutely, yeah. That's why I'm so strong. And so we would actually say, hey, what if we put a well or a cistern there beforehand? And they'd say, yes, that would be great. Not only do we have clean water now to drink, but when they go to build the foundation for the building, they have water right there, and it speeds up the process, and they're able to build it much quicker and with a lot less work, which is great. So yeah, putting these wells and cisterns into these towns, it really changes them. It changes their community, and these wells are actually on the church property too. So it's right there. So if people in the community want water, it's not kept from anyone, but they come to where the church is, and that's where the water is. And it's a great image for the water of life being here as well. And so it's wonderful for the pastors then to say, yes, come, we're here to meet your needs. And hey, on Sunday, come back for church.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, I love that the One Body Project is not just the spiritual needs of people, but the physical needs as well. And that's, again, why we wanted to combine all of these things together, is because when they're done in unity, the biggest and greatest impact is made. So thank you, Craig, for telling us about that, and looking forward to talking with you about how we can equip the people next time.